Welcome, I'm Trish. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to talk about that list. I'm going to have a little look at whether or not Epstein is still alive. We're going to do a spread and we're just going to see what the cards want to say about that situation. This is my investigation oracle, so it's called Investigation Oracle. This is my own personal oracle that I've created especially for true crime situations and readings on missing persons and anything crime related. So I create these cards and then I just add to them when I feel like there's something more that the cards need. And people often ask me in the comments, what are my cards that I read? These are my own personal cards. Now I think this may be the next deck that I make available on my website. So I have a few decks already available on there, but I get a lot of inquiries about this investigation oracle specifically for reading true crime readings. So we're going to have a little look at, perhaps this year I'm going to make this one available to the public. What I've done here first of all is just to check to see if I'm allowed to read on this or if I'm safe to read on this. I've just checked in with my team to see what the outcome is there. Now I've got 2 rabbit hole readings here. It tells me this subject is very deep. There's a lot to this rabbit hole. So I believe there's more to this than is actually the things that we already do know. I think it goes a lot deeper. It's saying here, with some of the things you need to take a bit of a leap here because there's things that are not in the media. And it almost feels to me like it's a bit of a stretch. You've almost got to stretch some things out. So it's a bit, things are a bit more of a stretch is what I'm picking up here. Not sure what that means. I do have a warning card and the warning card's related to my energy and it's asking me to keep high energy around this. It can be quite dark is what they're saying. So it can bring the energy down. My energy down from the darkness that surrounds this situation because it's guarded by a snake. So this is the dark negative energy that's guarding this situation. Okay, it's saying that this is my card of connection to the other side. So I have a connection with them is what they're saying. Okay, they're asking me to be wise to make the right choices here. So what I talk about to make the right choices. Also saying here it's reviewing some of the things that have already taken place, but it's saying you need to shift your focus again, and I think that's coming back to where I said it needs to stretch out a little bit more. So the focus here on what has already been released, it goes a little deeper than that, so it's much broader. Now that could even be like more of them, or they're just telling me you've got to shift your focus a little bit. So shift your focus. It's also saying that we want to talk about distractions here as well. So distractions, things that come out in the media to make us put our attention there instead of there. So we're shifting our focus. So what I'm getting here is, are we focused on the list when we should be focused on something else, or are we being distracted by something else like the Miami aliens instead of focusing on what's being released here? So, but I do feel like enough people are covering the Epstein list to not miss it. My fear is that we are being distracted by both things. There's something else going on that we're not looking at. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that because the shift of focus, or your focus has been shifted elsewhere, has come out. Anyway, let's have a look at the true crime read now and see what they want to say about Epstein himself. Okay, welcome back. Let's read what these cards are saying. First, I want to draw your attention here on the bottom of the deck. It says guilty. This is my guilty card. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one upright because I feel like it's fitting. Okay, now I have pulled cards on Jeffrey Epstein here, and there's not a single death card here. There's no death card here at all. And when I was asking, first of all, I was asking about his situation, about Epstein's situation. It's saying that he is very resilient. So resilient to me reminds me of like cockroaches that can survive anything. So that's the sense that I'm getting there. Now, he was in too deep. He was in far too deep is what it's saying. So I'm feeling my sense here, I'm not seeing any death cards, and normally my cards are pretty accurate at when there's a death, the death card comes out, and I said death many times when I was asking on the situation. Not a single death card has come out. So what has come out when I specifically said about death card, I got the web of lies. So the web of lies has come out around to that situation. Okay, so when I asked specifically about his death, I got the web of lies is what came out. So no death card, just the web of lies came out. And then the chariot. So the chariot, as soon as I saw that chariot card, it made me think about the car that arrived at the prison. Suspiciously, something happened with cameras, and then there was like a car there waiting, or a van or a truck or some kind of vehicle. So I have a few glitches happening while I'm recording this. My screen just blacked then. My whole screen just went black. So there, as I said, there is a level of protectiveness over this case. So trying to look into this one or peer a little deeper below the surface, there's darkness here. Of course, as you would expect, there is protection. There's levels of protection put up here. Now, it just blacked as I was talking about the Hierophant, which is powerful people. I said the word royals and my whole screen just blacked. So it is saying here now, when I was talking about asking the cards about Jeffrey Epstein, it said heavy burdens to carry. So he was carrying quite heavy burdens and inside job. So okay, we're getting phone records, suspicious minds, inside job, Hierophant. Hierophant is powerful people that came in as an inside job. This is getting him out of jail, or doing what needed to be done because he knew so much. He knew a lot of information. He was carrying a lot. So therefore, powerful people took care of the situation. Now, when I say take care of the situation, I'm not seeing death cards. So I'm seeing sitting right below it is the chariot, the moving, saying it's an inside job. So happened inside job. This is making me think about the actual prison itself. So inside job, something around phones and security here as well. Something going on with phones and security with that inside job. Want to come back here to the heavy burdens. Okay, and then going further across here, we're looking at his resilience, which I was talking about before. I had the shadow walk across there. Now it's saying that he very resilient, but he was in too deep. He was in too deep, and that's making me think about like his addictions kind of thing. His addictions. He was in too deep with addictions, but I'm feeling he was in too deep with maybe crossing the wrong person. This is where they're telling me to stretch things out here. Okay, so things that he knew and tried to either blackmail people with, or almost saying, because it's sitting right next to the Hierophant, so it's almost sitting like he's crossed the wrong person and he's got himself in too deep that it says it's justice related to family connections. Family connections, I feel, is these family connections. And justice is taking care of it. So also I feel like not wanting these kind of things to go through the justice system as well. Here it's saying wanted to talk. He wanted to talk. And that's where I'm leading up here about things that he knew and he was in too deep with who he tried to cross. Up here, a creative narrative, so that's about lies again. Creative narrative also means lies. And I did ask again, is he alive? There's a creative narrative around that situation. I asked if he was dead, and it said a web of lies. So there is definitely a web of lies or creative narrative around his death. Not giving me the death card again. Okay, anything else on this one? Perspective, and it's for protection. It was for the protection of other people, so a different perspective, had to handle things in a different way, and that's for the protection of the people that was involved. Here's like a house of cards that's going to come down, so the tower card. The tower card is like the house of cards that is going to come down or would have fallen from him talking. I'm not sure why he would have wanted to talk. Okay, so it's saying that he organised some kind of meet-up or discussion with somebody unknown to us. So it's a name that hasn't been mentioned. So a name that hasn't been. This is making me think about, did he do some recordings here? This is what's making me think this. But I don't think we'll know about this till later on this year. Okay. Yep, again it's saying bigger picture here around the judgment, and it's worldwide. Worldwide. This is the world card. World card, getting a lot of major arcanas here as well. A much, much bigger picture here going on. Anyway, I'm going to end this one here. This one, there's definitely a lot of darkness around this one. Not actually looking into the crimes or anything, but there's protection, darkness surrounded this case. That it's actually preventing me to go in deeply here. But it's just on the surface, just by what the cards have read. I think it's saying that there's a web of lies around his death. She's being intentionally oblivious to, not denying, but saying that she wasn't aware of some things when they're brought to light. Something about him wanting to talk in an organised meetup. Okay, here's the Chariot for the that was at the prison. The web of lies, saying he was in too deep with something, some kind of information or something he was talking to somebody else about. Here we're talking about the higher ups, the powerful people, and the burdens here. Inside job and suspicious mind. So this is the phone card and inside job. Okay, thank you for joining me.